Hey, I'm Ed Bolian, and welcome back to the VINwiki appraisal panel. I am joined today by John Ficarra of Ficarra Classic to help us go through and appraise the collection of Mat Armstrong. John, thanks for joining.
Always wonderful to be here, Ed. Looking forward to it.
I am too. I mean, no one has taken automotive YouTube by storm with quite the intensity that Matt has. It was great to have him here to tell some of his stories, and he has gained a lot more cars and a lot more stories and a whole lot more views and subscribers since then. His pace at which he can turn these cars around and the magnitude of the repairs is one of the most impressive things I think any of us have seen on YouTube. And so it's been very exciting to watch him amass a crazy collection of cars, and I know that we are all cheering him on. Today's video and most of our appraisal panel series here are brought to you by Auto Tempest. I know we talk a ton about Auto Tempest, but if you're looking for any kind of car, it is the best way to shop for it. It allows you to compare and shop amongst all the major sites at the same time, put all the results in one place, saves you time, and gets you exactly where you want to be, which is to the car that you were looking for in the first place. It's where I start most of my mornings, and I hope you will too, because it is truly the best way for you to support us here at VINwiki is by supporting our sponsors like Auto Tempest, which has now been with us for 7 years. And so we appreciate them not just for CarTrek, not just for this, but because it's truly the best place to shop for your next car. Autotempest.com, all the cars, one search. Now, being from the UK, we know Matt loves his British cars, and he has 2 Aston Martins at the moment, a DB12 and a DBX. Now, the DB12 had a crazy story. It was actually crashed with virtually no miles during its PDI, mostly front damage, but with airbags deployed. He has now repaired it, and like I said, he bought it with just 39 miles. Now, as we go through these cars, obviously all of them have damage history, and so in the US, we have salvage titles. Now, they've got different classifications of repairable and non-repairable vehicles in the UK, but we're going to number them generally as though they are US branded title cars, which in most cases starts about 40% back of retail. That's usually the back of the napkin math that I suggest as other people are trying to value these kind of cars. But then there is a little bit of a significance provenance bump that comes with just being so famous on the internet. I mean, his videos are getting millions and millions of views, and it's hard to avoid that as at least some component of the value here. And so, you know, you'd pay low 200s for a normal DB12. I put this car at 160.
What a better car to find crashed than the one that's basically a brand new car. The DB12s were interesting because they're actually holding their value, which is not the way Aston Martin seemed to go. You know, they were $250 when they were new, and they're still selling for about that. So I actually bumped it up just a little bit because it's basically a brand new car, not a terrible amount of damage. So I put it at 190.
There we go. Well, I could agree with that. I mean, it is a very, very cool car, and you're right, it is rare that an Aston Martin will hold its original value. Now, they all don't do that, certainly not, because DBXs, especially this 707, they have all depreciated like crazy. Now, this was a flood car that Matt fixed for his dad, so it wasn't a structural damage, and, you know, we've got some of these cars that he's sort of given away and things like that. We're going to put those in the total value of his collection, because he could have kept them, and it is all very, very impressive. I numbered the DBX at 115.
He gave this to his dad, right? So, which I thought was a pretty slick move. They're, you know, interesting crossovers. The 707 is like the hot rod version of this. So I put it at 125.
Excellent. Now he has the Audi RS6. This is the C7 generation of the RS6. We did not get those here in the US. He's got a full DTM body kit. Unbelievably cool car. I am a huge sucker for an Audi wagon. This was not a massive hit. It was a front end damage. He has rebuilt it, obviously all customized, wide body, everything. And so again, we don't have those here, but you can pretty much buy them all day long in the UK for about 50 grand. So that's where I hit it.
I mean, I wish we could get those all day long here, and I'm sure people would pay well over 50 to get one in the United States, but we're talking what he could sell for back there. The accident wasn't too bad. It's a good-looking car. I don't think the body kit does anything for it. I always think body kits and that kind of stuff eventually devalue a car. Look at, you know, Toyota Supra Mark IVs. So I put it at 40.
I think that's also fair. Now, he's got a Ferrari F430. This is a gated manual car, another one he bought for his father, who was supposed to be his lifelong dream car, which I cannot argue with. Certainly some collector value, and it has been very nicely rebuilt. The engine was totally apart, as I recall. So I numbered that at 140, which I think allows for some diminishment because of the damage and the general history. But these things are still collectible cars. I love gated manual bad history cars myself, and so I think it's fair money there.
Yeah, this is your wheelhouse, is beat up gated manuals, right? And the gated manual on these cars really adds a lot of value. My understanding is if this was not a messed up car, this would be over 200 grand. And this is just a wrecked rental car, so it's not, doesn't look too good on paper, but I gave it a little bit more. I put it at 150.
Excellent. Of course, my favorite car out of Matt's collection is his gated manual factory Verde Ithaca Murcielago. And it's an early car, but still a manual, as collectible, I think, as anything could possibly be. Not too heavily modified. He's got aftermarket wheels and things like that on it. He did gumball in this. I just think it is wonderful. It was a high-mile track rental car, but he has brought it all back, and it is as cool as it gets. Now, a top-tier collector-grade manual Murcielago in the U.S. would bring between $500,000 and $650,000. Now, a branded title car with the miles, with the history, is going to be less, but I put that car at $350,000, and I think he could sell it in a heartbeat for that.
Well, no one knows more about Murcielagos than you, so I will never argue any price with you or what you think they're valued at. So I'm going to totally agree with you at $350,000.
Now, he also has another Lambo. This was his first Lamborghini, a twin turbocharged Gallardo. Now, it's a later car. It's an LP 560. He bought it, crashed, fixed it, crashed it again, and fixed it again. So the car has had quite the journey, but it's obviously a big important part of the channel. I put it at 110.
Again, I'm not here to argue with you about Lamborghinis ever. I would totally guess that'd be the range of it. I mean, it's a seriously beat up car, but he brought it back to life, so why not? 110,000.
His latest acquisition is an Aventador SVJ, a white car, damaged all around, but he is bringing it back with his normal, unbelievable pace. So I'm loving watching that right now. I put that one at 600,000.
I'm a broken clock at this point. I don't know anything about these newer Lamborghinis whatsoever, except to go online and really compare what the sale prices are and what the people are asking for them. And I think, sure, $600,000. Why not?
His Revuelto, I actually put just a little bit back of that at $550,000. I know he just did a giveaway with this car, but it was a huge hurdle that he overcame with the electronics and the programming of that car, as new and technological as the car is. So I said $550,000 on it.
I like that he has all the V12s. Like he got the Murci, the Aventador, and this, and he worked his way up through the years. I think that's really cool. And you can see the progress of them. And am I wrong that these are usually like $700,000 to $1 million?
Correct.
I bumped it up. I'm going to disagree with you just a little bit on this. I'm going to hit it at $575,000.
And that's anyone's guess. When you're talking about pre-owned cars that are still that valuable, it's a little different than the normal market for pre-owned supercars, because people are still buying clearly based on their preference. And so spec really becomes important, because people aren't going to buy a $500,000, $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 car that isn't exactly what they're looking for. And that's been a hard thing for the pre-owned market, and especially the dealership market, for inventory to sort of take into account. And so he's got great spec cars. If they're bad specs, he ends up making them even better. And so I think they're all wonderful. The next Lambo is his Urus. It had a big front end crash, but it has become their daily use vehicle. I know his girlfriend drives that a lot. They have retained their value unbelievably well, as opposed to things like the Aston DBX or a Bentley Bentayga and other things. So to me, it still blows my mind what pre-owned Uruses are worth, but I hit his at 160 grand.
The Lamborghini Aztec is a really interesting crossover, and I'm sure it's bolstering their bottom end, selling that thing, whatever that is. I couldn't put it at 160. I just can't. Don't like it the way it looks. I put it at 150 just because I think it's ugly. You
can still see the Audi shining through, and he found a lot of Audi parts that were pertinent to that car. He has a Maserati Gran Turismo, one of the earlier cars built on the channel. Super cool Liberty Walk wide body kit. Not most of our taste, but certainly awesome, and it gets all the attention in every thumbnail that he puts it in. I said 30 grand for that.
Yeah, it's interesting how the Maserati Gran Turismos are just cheap and a dime a dozen in Europe. Like, you can just pick them up for nothing over there. So I don't think the body kit does anything again for it. So I put it at 25 grand.
He's got a 2018 McLaren 720S, and this might have been the most hurt car that he started with. It was massively hit, and it actually had to be re-tubbed, so it's got a new carbon fiber tub. Now, 720s have retained really, really good value, even as they've aged to this point, and so even though I'd love to think that the car is 140, 150 grand, it really seems like it would bring more than that, 180, maybe even 200, so to give Matt the benefit of the doubt, I said 200 grand.
Yeah, this car is really where Matt is Tavarish with a East Midlands accent. This looked like a parts car when he took it apart to me. I was shocked that he built this thing. It was really fun watching the video. And he bought it for, like 60,000 pounds, which is about 81,000 US. Still, he put a lot of work and money into that thing. Those are the kind of numbers I was seeing. I was seeing, you could buy one for 250 that works. So I put it at 190,000.
Very fair. He's got a 2011 C63 AMG. He bought it crashed, obviously, and rebuilt it, and he's done kind of a Black Series wide body kit. Really good looking car, and those are just wonderful, wonderful cars to drive. One of the best engines that AMG and Mercedes ever put together. I said 30 grand for it.
I'm surprised you said 30 grand, because like this is the kind of car you would buy and you would hammer somebody on. And you'd be like, I'll give you 20 for that. And then you'd meet right in the middle. So I met right in the middle at 25,000.
And that's probably a better approach. He's got two incredible Porsches. He had done another GT3 that now is down with Tavarish in Florida. But he's got a 992 GT3 in Ruby Star, an amazing track spec build, really a high performance focused car. And I think it is just super cool. I put that one at 175. And then of course he has the GT3 RS, which he recently did. Manthey Racing kit. It was a flooded car, but it's been totally reshelled. It was badly hurt as well, but those are still bringing all the money in the world clean. So even with the history, I said 350.
He did two really good shows with these. He did one with the GT3. He did it up with the Stig, and then he ran it off the Top Gear track, which was a great episode. I put that car at a little bit more than you at 190 because I think those cars are in very much demand. The GT3 RS, of course, he raced against Mick Schumacher. That was a really cool episode as well. But I didn't hit it high as 350. I put it at 340.
Fair enough. Now, he's got a Rolls-Royce Cullinan flooded car, but it was, again, a non-structural repair. I love a flood car. And these still bring crazy money, and I find that very hard to believe. But it seemed like, based on what they're bringing over there and still here, he could probably get 250 grand for the car.
I think that's a big ask. I went online and looked at a few of these, and I think 200 is more of a fair number for a flood damaged car.
Well, I hope you're right, because I have lowballed one that is crashed in Mongolia at the moment. We'll see. That might be the next wife's car. And of course, one of the most famous cars in the collection is the Wraith, the 2023 Rolls-Royce Wraith Black Badge Mansory car, crazy high spec, once owned by Marcus Rashford. He restored it to really, like he says, near factory condition, obviously near originally modified condition, but one of the best storylines of the channel. Freddie and Sam Hard went over there to help as well. I think that car, for everything that it represents, is worth $250.
Again, I think you're being a little generous on this one from what I've seen. I mean, yeah, it is wholly attached to his channel, and maybe that's the value in it, but I put this at about 200 grand.
So when I total that up, I am just over $3.5 million for the collection of Mat Armstrong, which is hugely impressive in the short amount of time that it has taken him to build a collection like that. And I think it represents, obviously all the cool supercars that he could possibly amass, but really the expertise that he and his father and the team behind the Mat Armstrong channel have been able to just convey to the world. And so seeing all these cars resurrected, brought back to life, I don't think it could be any cooler.
So I think my total came in around 3.4. So I'm pretty close to you. I did a little under a few of those cars. But yeah, a tremendous collection of cars, tremendous physical effort that he put to make all these cars come back to life. And I appreciate that as a mechanic. And hats off to everything he does to his dad and his fantastic team over there. They're doing amazing stuff. I look forward to every one of his videos.
For sure. So if you're for some reason not already subscribed to the Mat Armstrong channel, please go ahead and do so. We'll put a link to it in the description below, and I'm sure we'll be back because I'm sure he'll have a whole lot more cars in the garage soon. Once again, thank you to Auto Tempest for supporting this video and the VINwiki appraisal series and other things that we do here. Please check them out right now at the link in the description below to shop for your next car on Auto Tempest and thank them for their support of VINwiki.